Nothing is more powerful than sovereignty. Sovereignty over your decisions, your money, your entire life. In today's video, I want to talk about how crypto is the only technology that makes sovereignty possible. Now, before we start, I'm the DeFi Doctor, head of education here at Decentralized Masters. I first got into crypto to protect my money from outside influence. I realized that I can make money too, but that's always been an added bonus. You'll see what I mean by the time this video ends. There are a lot of ways to make money. Gold is great, stocks do well, bonds have great yields, the list goes on and on. But there's a massive sacrifice that you have to make when opting for any of these assets. You're sharing control with others. When you buy a stock, you're at the whims of the accountants and accounting methods at the company you own a piece of. You're at the mercy of the company that owns the stock exchange too. And worst of all, your assets can be seized at the government's discretion. Whether you think that's likely or not today, it's absolutely possible. ETFs suffer from the same problem. Most stock ETFs, like the S&P 500, are diversified across many companies, so you mitigate the risk from any one of them. This is better, but 8% is the expected annual return on the S&P. That's barely enough to keep up with real inflation, but definitely better than nothing. Well, what about bonds? No risk from company interference there, right? Well, you're only vulnerable to the Treasury and the Fed's shenanigans then. Think that's better? The Treasury can issue infinite bonds, devaluing bond prices, and the Fed can print infinite money, devaluing both the bond prices and their yields. How about gold then? Probably the best asset as long as you can actually have custody over it by yourself. But almost half of the high net worth individuals don't have gold bullion. They have gold ETFs instead. Back to square one. If you do have bullion though, the cost is security. Storing gold bullion safely is no small feat. What else is there? Well, God forbid you sit on a pile of cash tucked away in your bank. You don't need me to tell you that inflation is rapidly whittling away the value of your hard-earned money. That's all because of money printing. Even setting that aside, banks can simply go out of business. You might think that FDIC protects you, but that's only up to $250,000. If you have $250,000 in a checking account and another $250,000 in a savings account, well, you're only getting $250,000 back. FDIC insurance is per depositor, not per account. If you think banks can't fail, well, you're wrong. In 2023, Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, First Republic Bank, and 3 more banks failed. $359 billion in deposits were completely wiped out. When you hold your money in a bank, you don't own it anymore. The bank does, and they can loan it out to anyone else. In the US right now, there is 0% reserve requirement. That means not a single penny from any deposit made needs to be kept in their vaults. And the cherry on top is that the government can seize your account at any time. They can order the banks to do that, and the banks have to comply. If you don't think this is possible, ask the peaceful Canadian protesters who had their accounts frozen until they stopped protesting. Look it up. It happened just a couple of years ago. If it happened there, it can certainly happen in America too. But look, I'm not saying all of this to scare you. I'm saying these things because every single problem with every asset under the sun is solved with crypto. The first and foremost of those issues being self-sovereignty. When you own Bitcoin or any other crypto asset, you're the only one that controls it. Not a single soul in the entire universe can get between you and your money. Not the government, not the banks, not the people you love or that you hate. No one out there except for you. If you ever wondered what makes crypto valuable, I think that's where the best answer starts. But that's not where it ends. Once you become curious and start looking into crypto a little bit deeper, there is a lot you can realize very, very quickly. When we cut out the middleman through self-custody and sovereignty, we become our own banks. But we also can become the exchanges, the capital for lending, and no middlemen infringe on your yield. This is why crypto is the only place you can earn 15% on US dollars. That's how much banks can make in traditional finance. It's what we make in decentralized finance. But it goes even deeper. Crypto is a platform that software can be built on, and it inherits all the properties I've been talking about. Sovereignty, censorship resistance, permissionlessness, security. Anything and everything can be built on a blockchain, but better. There is value in decentralization, and that value goes in the pockets of people like you and me. Crypto's built a decentralized cloud that can compete with the likes of AWS, Microsoft, and Google. A decentralized cloud is cheaper, can be closer to users, and can grow much, much larger. Consider also inheritances. This isn't a subject many people enjoy talking about, but crypto has a solution to it. Historically, people put their money into a trust that then gets passed along to their children. But anyone with a sliver of insight into this process knows about the middlemen and the fees involved. All of that can be eliminated. Blockchains can automate inheritances entirely. They can allow for gradual releases of funds to beneficiaries or large unlocks at major events, like when a child turns 18, without any middlemen taking a cut. There are so many more things that crypto can make possible. AI can interact with a designated amount of crypto, so there's no need for AI agents to have your full credit card information. They just have a wallet that you can fund as you wish. One of the biggest narratives in crypto right now is real-world assets, or RWAs for short. This entails making traditional assets like stocks, bonds, commodities, or even property tradable on-chain. That makes it possible to transact with them 24 hours a day, reduces settlement costs by a factor of 10, again by eliminating the middleman, and can even make large assets divisible. Instead of buying an entire piece of land, you can buy a piece of it instead. That alone solves the biggest problem with property. Historically, the most liquid asset out there. RWAs are already here. BlackRock's building them. And we even have on-chain gold. Instead of buying and holding gold bullion at home, or worse yet, gold ETFs, you can hold them securely in a crypto wallet. A crypto wallet is immensely more secure than even the most secure home setup. And it's easier to sell. And you don't have to sell it at a discount to spot prices. There are so many problems crypto solves. I could keep going on all day long. But I just want to shed some light on this new asset class and how it solves every problem with the assets of the past. Look, if you've only heard about crypto but aren't invested yet, I completely understand. There's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of misconceptions about what crypto is. The reason it was created and the reason it exists is to give freedom back to the people like you and me. I hope this cleared things up for you. News outlets made sure it took me a while to understand this myself. I just hope I've helped you move through this process a little bit faster. That's it for this video, my friends. I hope you learned something, or at the very least, enjoyed it. If you did, please leave us a like, subscribe for more videos just like this, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Stay sharp, my friends, stay decentralized, and I'll see you in the next one.